How are you?
Good, Faye. How's everything going today?
Great, not bad. Same time, same place, same old thing. It seems like it's Groundhog's Day every day, kind of.
Although I do see a little more greenery in the background today, so that maybe the trees are starting to finally leaf out.
The trees, even the birds are out. Like everybody wants to get out. But I'm happy that you're checking back in with us for health, wellness, and lifestyle. And there's a lot we could talk about.
Well, the thing is, I think there's sort of this. We're kind of getting to the point where everybody's sort of reached this malaise. We sort of don't know where we're going. We don't have any clue as to what's coming next. There's this giant question mark over everybody's lives. And I know for a lot of us, we don't like having question marks for our future, question marks for anything. People don't know when they can go back to people have figured they were going away for a weekend and they've been stuck at their other places for, months now. So I think we're all at this sort of really critical point where we kind of have to dig a little deeper and realize that there is an end, even though it doesn't feel like there is. And we have to start, fear has to start going away a little bit. We have probably, at this point, everyone, everywhere across the country pretty much, has heard a story, knows someone personally, all of that. So I don't think, so none of us are in an avoidance mode, but we can't remain in this fear mode. Because if we remain in a fear mode, what will happen is it'll destroy our adrenal glands. It'll destroy our health, basically. So we kind of have to sort of look for, we have to look in ourselves really, and we have to look together. And something interesting, I write, I don't know how many people know this, but I write a newsletter that comes out free 4 days a week. And so the one that came out today, and I'm always surprised when they come out because I don't handle that part of the process. I just write them, and then another company, my other company, does that for me. So what I really talked about was that we really, we've been relying on hospitals, we've been relying on doctors, we've been relying on nurses, whatever first responder you want to pick, fill in the blank yourself or whatever you want there. But that, all these public health interventions and hospital preparedness, I mean, it does matter, but I think the general health of the population matters just at least as much. Because, barring any new drug treatments, which, could come out at any time, you never know, barring a vaccine, which we don't do very well with that, with vaccines against viruses anyway. We've got to sort of, take our civic responsibility seriously. And I think we have, in terms of Remington, please. Sorry about that, dogus interruptus. And so we take our, we've taken a lot of things very seriously, like especially in New York. We've done an amazing job of staying at home, locking in, locking down, really bringing our new case rate and death rates to lower than I think any other place in the country, really. Especially any big city, that's for sure.
Surprised how people listened, and
Right.
for that.
So, but now we have to take it a little bit further. Just staying home is just one of our responsibilities. But each and every one of us can help save the world by saving ourselves first. And I don't mean that in like, I'll take the last bit of toilet paper and leave you nothing. But by taking care of ourselves so that all of these doctors, nurses, healthcare practitioners won't have to do it for you later. So simply put, and I wrote this, simply put, you can be a hero too. And all you have to do is take better care of your health starting today. And as always, that begins with a healthy, balanced diet, regular daily exercise, and good sleep habits. So that was sort of the gist of the newsletter. But I mean, I really think it's kind of what we need to sort of be focusing on is ourselves. And we really need this Viruses come out of nowhere. Sometimes they just do. And it always takes the least healthy usually of the population. I mean, it didn't in with HIV, but it did for, you know, for most others. I think outside of HIV, it takes the most vulnerable population. So people have to remember that when we look towards nursing homes and we get upset about all those people dying in nursing homes and wringing our hands, what could we have done better? And look, the entire healthcare system of this country and probably most places in the world can be improved. We will never be perfect. We're just not perfect people. We don't know how to design anything perfectly. So people will die, and that's a very, very sad thing. But people die every day, and that's something we all have to sort of understand, accept, feel badly about it, but know that people would have been dying anyway today in nursing homes, with or without coronavirus.
Correct. And I think, especially, I think a lot of it has to do with the initial panic, the craziness, the panic, and then trigger reaction across the board. And I think people got the message. They take this seriously. They see how serious this is. But in people that have been waiting or kind of staying dormant, for lack of a better way, I think you bring up something very, very important, though, and especially at the perfect time, because nothing's perfect, but there is sometimes the perfect time to bring something up, and that even if it's today, to start taking better care of yourself, because that'll make an impact as well, today,
Well, of
tomorrow,
course it will.
and in the future.
It'll make an impact for the rest of your life. And think about, and think about some of the good things, because we're certainly not getting anything good in the news, right? But
Yeah.
if you think about good things, sort of, all right, we've spent 2 months isolating with our family, right? But I was on Skype with a patient this morning, and they were saying how amazing it is that the husband actually gets to have dinner with the family,
Yeah, we've been saying that a lot.
because that never happened, or that the husband's home before 8 o'clock at night. And they're all absconced out in the Hamptons, but they're like, my husband actually wants to maybe even work out here sometimes now. Like, he never wanted to do that, and he's like, well, it's not that bad to actually live in a house and not be stuck in like an apartment building. So I think there's a lot of ways that we could learn about how this is can actually be a good time. I mean, it's certainly been good for the planet, that's for sure. I mean, pollution levels are down. I mean, it's amazing how good it's been for the planet. Water level, water pollution's down, everything's amazingly down. But that can all be good for us too. And because as we move into this next phase, we've been talking about phases of this. As we move into the next phase, we don't know what reopening is going to look like.
Yeah.
We don't know how many people are still going to get fired and still going to be laid off. I mean, we still don't know that.
There's so many uncertainties, basically. I mean, but we don't have answers to.
No, I mean, even the news today, another 3 million people filed for unemployment. So every day, every week, that number grows, and even my friends are starting to get laid off, starting to have be asked to take pay cuts if they want to stay employed. So, and I'm not saying like it can't happen to my friends, but my friends happen to have be professionals, let's say, because that's what.
It's just surprising.
But
The impact is what you're saying, correct? Like it's surprising, but it's not unexpected after we've seen everything that's happened. But the one thing that, if I'm understanding your message and what we why we're getting together to do this for health, wellness, and lifestyle, one thing is certain is that you can start taking better care of yourself. Doesn't matter what your profession is, individual, because it all starts with you. Then it affects your family. The better I take care of myself, the better I can help take care of my family, the better then they'll take care of themselves. But I'm also noticing, and tell me if you noticed it with your patients as well, sometimes it's hard to find the motivation. What do I do next? Reestablishing their routine. For a diet, you get frustrated. You're like, I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm eating healthier. I might not be going to the gym. I think I'm getting some exercise, but maybe it's not enough. But so that's what I want to talk about also, because a lot of people feel that frustration and they don't know how to work through that.
Well, I think that, you bring up a great point, and I think that's and we have so many tools at our disposal to do that. We've got a ton of people doing, their favorite instructors doing, Zoom classes, or doing it on Instagram TV or things like that, which people can get into. So that's I think I'm amazed at how all of these fitness people and trainers are doing all of this for free. They're doing it for their clients, which is so nice, but they're opening up to everybody else, which is just amazing to me. I mean, nobody I know is charging for any of this stuff. It's just,
Do you have a routine you like that you have seen success with for yourself, your patients, that you can recommend?
well, I mean, I work out, so I have a higher threshold for it than most people, but there's an amazing one called Torched, Torched by, I can't remember his real name, only his real name is Isaac. What is his Instagram name? I can't remember. I'll remember in a second. But he's amazing. I mean, and that workout is cray cray. I mean, it's the same workout like Kelly Ripa is his. He Kelly Ripa, Lisa Rinna, people like, he has tons of celebrities. So I'm on like Instagram TV and Zoom with these people. It's like super fun.
Available with no charge for people to.
No charge. I can look up right now what oh no, I turned my phone off so it wouldn't interrupt us.
No,
But,
because again,
Isaac Boots is his Instagram name. And my other favorite instructor is Ryfarr, Ryfarr. That's his Instagram name. And he does something every day. So I think if you have a gym membership or had a gym membership, they're they're doing things, so that is available. But again, a lot of people, you bring up the word routine, and a lot of people rely on external routines.
Mhm.
Now we're being asked to rely on internal routines.
Correct.
I'm good at, that's something I excel at because, I'm my own business owner, blah, 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 blah. So I excel at making sure, how to structure my time. Other people may not be good at that because they're like, well, I need to get the 7:15 into the city, and then I get my coffee here, and then I go sit at my desk and I look at emails first and talk to my coworker. They've got this routine that involves others. So
Correct.
now the routine has to involve, okay, I am still setting the alarm for the same time. I'm still getting up and showering and brushing my teeth every day. And I still have to go to the gym, and I will look online. I will figure out how I'm going to be able to do this. The weather's getting nicer. Maybe we can all go outside and exercise and get some fresh air on top of it all. So that would all be really nice. As far as eating, while we're not totally in control of what we can buy, because there are shortages and, you get half of what you order, you can still, I have still managed to maintain my organic lifestyle by knowing who to order from. There's plenty of apps, there's plenty of farms nearby that are just throwing food away. So maybe that becomes a day trip. Maybe that becomes something you do when you go to a farm, or you look up these apps. Natura is a great app, Natoora. You can get every organic, and it's all seasonal. It's whatever happens to be growing at that time of the year. It's delivered directly to your door. I love US Wellness Meats. It's all organic, pastured, fed chicken, everything. They're a little bit more expensive, yes, than going to ShopRite or whatever. I don't even know supermarkets anymore because I never shop at them anymore, including Whole Foods. I don't think they're any better than any other supermarket. And so that, for me, has been fun. But I like doing that stuff. It's because it's kind of so I can teach about it.
But at least you gave us some great options, because a lot of people that I'm speaking to, from coworkers to neighbors, they're ordering from online. They're using apps. My family, my brother, his wife. I mean, they're using apps. People want to explore other options. So that's great that you brought that up. I have a question though. So let's say pretty much you're trying to change your diet, update your diet, whatever you're doing, and it's just not it's just something's missing, something is off. So let's say you want to reboot, recharge, begin again. So I'm gonna today I'm gonna start focusing on me. Like you said, start focusing on yourself. What's a good starting point? What's a good, where do you start? Where do you begin? What's a good food that you want to make sure you have, or a good meal or something in your diet? Like the most important thing you got to make sure that you're getting right now, which is a good way to start in terms of getting fit, maintaining, and just that's one of the great things you always try to incorporate in a meal.
Well, I mean, the way I look at something like that is I always ask I always ask the patient, what's the most concern to you? What's missing in your life? Like some people, and surprisingly, when I've been talking to my patients, both in person and this way, I've been amazed at how well they've been doing. Like they've not gained weight. Like the people I've expected to gain weight have not. They're like, I'm looking at this as an opportunity. I'm home. I can cook. I can't go to restaurants. I don't go to restaurants and order bottles of wine every night. So I'm cooking and their weight's coming off and it's been really like so fascinating to me. And because I tell people this all the time, it's like if you just cooked at home, you'd drop 5 pounds. If you cooked, healthy foods, because you don't know what you're getting when you eat out. There's sauces on things. They put sugar on everything. There's bad fats and oils. I mean, the list is endless, right? I mean, but we all enjoy going out for good. So what I've been encouraging people to do is, again, use your computer, go online, find recipe apps, go up to my website. There's tons of recipes. Do recipes, and do healthy recipes that the family can do as well. Maybe some of your kids like to cook or like to do something, and here's a great time to learn how to cook and cook a healthy meal. Like I think eggs are super important to have right now in the house, because eggs are a wonderful source of food if you get the right eggs, and they're one of the few food sources that have vitamin D in it. So vitamin D is very critical to protecting our immune system. That those studies have been coming out right, left, and sideways about vitamin D these days and how it can help protect our immune system. So I think that's a way to exercise. That's a way of learning how to cook and eat healthy. Um, I think what we really have to do is not use this time as neglect. We're not. I mean, for me, it's harder for me to stay home and work than it is for me to be in my office where all my instruments are and my tools and my staff and all of that stuff. It's a lot harder to work from home. So I understand people's frustration, but I would like to let them know that there's a way out. There's so many things that we can do. There's so many things we can do even together. Find someone that you like on your street and walk 6 feet apart from each other.
Yeah.
Jog 6 feet apart from each other. Wear a mask. Go outside, or whatever makes you comfortable. Don't wear a mask. I don't care. Like whatever makes you feel comfortable. And the only reason I say I don't care is because there are people who are very anti-mask, because there's not really good science to support that, or maybe there is good science to support it. I don't know. I don't want to get into
Yeah.
into the discussion. But I will encourage people to go outside. Go out, like today's beautiful. I'm going to go out. I'm meeting my cousin later. We're going to go sit by the river. We'll sit 6 feet apart and we'll watch the sunset. It'll be nice, something to do.
I'm certainly going to follow doctor's orders and get outside and get out there. But before we end today, one of my favorite things whenever when we meet is when you tell me like you're one of your favorite recipes or something. So what are you cooking later? What's one of your favorite?
Well, I thought about this last night because I made a delicious meal last night, which I'd never made before in my life. Because what I'm having a hard time learning how to do is cooking with frozen vegetables. I've never cooked a frozen vegetable in my life until last night. Well, actually, 3 days before, when I cooked some frozen broccoli, and I realized this isn't not going to work. I'm going to have to learn how to do this. So it was riced cauliflower.
Oh, my favorite. I've been making a lot of that.
So it was riced cauliflower, and then I mixed in. I chopped up some tomatoes, almost like a salsa. I made it into like a salsa and put in, jalapeno and like, made it really super spicy.
Wow.
Some onion, diced up some onion and put in some, organic grass finished beef. Then threw in the sauce and made it like tacos. And then took it out. And then I wrapped it in a kale leaf and I dolloped some cheese and some sour cream. And I hardly ever eat dairy, but it was one of those nights. Cheese and sour cream, and it was delicious. It was amazing. It was that's all healthy,
I'm,
all organic.
I'm like salivating.
It was so good. And the other thing I did yesterday was I joined City Bike. So for those people who don't have services like that, but most big cities do, I felt such joy. Like there's no car traffic, so I wasn't afraid of the traffic, and there was freedom. It was freeing. I got to like be out. I felt like I was on the front of the Titanic before it sank, and so just go out of your comfort zone, I guess, maybe a little bit, because for me to ride, I mean, I love riding bikes. I mean, it's my favorite thing to do. It's what I do indoors 7 days a week. But to be outside and do it was really freeing. So maybe try to do something that you might not normally would do, like cook a different meal, try a different cuisine. Like we have time on our hands, so try something new, try a different exercise. Try something till you work. If you don't like it, what's the worst thing that happens? You don't like it. you make something else. You do something else. I don't know. I want people to be positive through this. I want us to really try to stay together, because I'm seeing too many people hit the wall and just hit that, I've got to do something, and we're all arguing and everybody's arguing about how to reopen, when to do the blah, 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 blah. Focus at home, focus on yourself, and let the rest of the world take care of itself. Because if we all did that, then we'd all kind of fall into place.
Oh, Doc, you almost made me cry. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. Listen. I can't. One of
Not
the
Dr. Phil, but
no, but it makes such a difference, because we do need that inspiration, that motivation, and the right information. And I'm so happy whenever you join us for Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle, because you cover those three more essential things for us. So thank you for joining us for Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle. I can't wait till we meet again.
Yeah, and it'll be great, because now we have, we've given very specific tips, specific websites, specific apps that people can use, names of instructors. I encourage everybody to use them. Just, try them out. It can't hurt.
Well, I'll let you know the feedback.
I'll look forward to our next meeting.
Me too. Thanks, Doc. Enjoy the day. I know I'm going to go out there. I'm following doctor's orders. Thanks.
Absolutely.
See you soon.